All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Making of Podcast. I am Colin, and I have a very special guest with me today. I'm actually so excited. I've been trying to think of people that I would enjoy having on this podcast, and this doctor is one of the very first ones that pops into my head. So today I have with us Dr. Hiral Patel from Dallas,
Hello.
Texas.
Yes.
Hello. So
Long time listener, long time fan of Ashley and Colin.
Yeah, actually, so I met you on the other podcast, Little Black Dress, several years ago. We interviewed you, or Ashley
Yes.
interviewed you, but I actually don't know how you met Ashley and like the making of. So can you give me a little
Yeah.
of that background?
So I feel like, well, I know the first time I met her in person was definitely the first retreat, which was in Napa. And I remember I felt like I just met a celebrity because she was just so cool. But then she was also so down to earth, which was great.
Yeah.
But I was part of the Facebook group in the beginning when it was like pretty new, I think. And
Okay.
so I feel like when the Facebook group first started, it was just like a smaller, I don't know, like under 100 people. And so we all kind of
Mm-hmm.
like virtually knew each other. And so, yeah, I think that's how I probably started messaging her. And then I just followed her story, listened to the first podcast that she had with Michael. And yeah, I think that's how. And then the retreat, I think you guys announced it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going. So, and
Yeah,
then I
because
came
how,
to Vail and yeah, Kois and all that.
oh, you've seen Ash at Kois too.
The only Kois that I saw her at was the most recent, which was like the after all the classes were done.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
And how long? Okay, so you were part of the Facebook group in the very beginning, less than 100. Now
Yeah.
there's 14,500 people, which is crazy. Um,
14,500.
yes, isn't that
God,
wild?
that is wild. That is
So
absolutely wild.
you were like OG, OG.
Oh my God, yes. And you guys got an award recently for
We
that in the
did.
group. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
Course
awesome.
Karma's award, which was such a highlight. I think it was like right around January 1st or something. And I was like, I'm just so excited that we won
Yeah,
this award. It's just crazy to me that
it's
we
crazy,
help
especially
people.
seeing it from like 8 years ago is wild.
Yeah,
You've
it's
helped
grown.
14,500 people. Like that's bizarre.
It's so weird. And it's so weird to think like, yeah, there's so many of the listeners and people in the group I don't know. Whereas like there's
In
so
the
many of you guys
beginning.
yeah, I do know so many of you guys too and the OGs. And how did you find the group?
Oh
Like,
man, I want to say it was definitely, I don't know. I want to say I feel like I saw her live video at some point through somebody or some group.
okay.
So I don't know. Somebody must have found it or tagged me or something. Yeah. And I think I watched her live and then I was like, oh my God. And I think it was around the time that I was also thinking of wanting to do a startup. And so it had a big
Okay.
part in my startup journey, like for sure. I think it really gave me a lot of confidence to even open my own so much valuable information from it. Like it was, yeah, it was huge.
I think that's what I was going to ask you is was it when you were thinking about opening your startup or like
Mhm.
you hadn't
Yeah.
even thought about opening one? Like
Yeah. I
what
think
was that?
it was right around when I was like thinking of opening a startup because for the longest time I was totally anti startup. I was like, I'm not, who does a startup? That's insane. Like, why would anybody do that? And so I was looking at acquisitions. So then I think I looked for a few months and then I'm guessing maybe the group kind of like pushed me towards thinking about a startup. And I'm like, oh, if this many people are doing this, like surely I can do it too. I think one of the big things was listening to her dentist to population ratio and then seeing how fast she like took off. I'm like, whoa, if she can do it in that population to
Mhm.
dentist ratio, I was like, maybe I can do it in Dallas. I don't know. So then
Where
I
in
just
Dallas are you?
I'm in a suburb called Lewisville. So from, I would say like the airport of DFW, it's like 15 minutes away. So it's
Oh,
not
so you're like,
technically, it's not like in Dallas, Dallas.
okay.
It's kind of like a little bit outside Dallas.
Are there a lot of dentists in your area too then?
Yeah, but one of the things that helped me was there wasn't a lot of startups in my area. So it was more like older dentists. And
Okay.
then I had opened right before COVID. And right after COVID, I think a lot of the older dentists were like piecing out. They're like, I'm done. So actually worked in my favor. The ratio wasn't the best either, but because there was a lot of dentists, but they were all, I would say, more like old school dentists. So
Okay.
yeah,
So how long have you been open now?
it has been, this year will be 7 years. So
Oh
six
my
and a half
gosh.
years right now. Yeah. Still feels
Oh,
like a
congrats.
baby.
Yeah. So right before COVID is when you opened?
Yeah, it was 2019, kind of like I guess August of
Oh
2019.
my gosh.
Yeah, and so my 6 month recalls came right at like March of 2020. So yeah,
That's so
it was crazy. But
scary.
to think back to that is it doesn't feel like 6 years ago, but I guess it was now. So
Yeah. I mean, so that's kind of what I was going to ask you is just questions for people that were in your position at one point, didn't know what
mhm.
to do, but just kind of seeing this now that you're almost 7 years in,
Yeah,
what has that been like? And I'm going to kind of just go back to the beginning and
yeah,
ask you maybe just like, what are some of the little things you would have done differently? Are there
yeah.
things that you would have done differently from the jump?
Yes, I would say I had a really slow start because I wasn't good about marketing. So in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna open, people are just gonna come. I don't really need to do a lot of marketing. I would do like social media, but I wasn't really paying for any marketing in the beginning.
Okay.
Luckily, I did have a lot of friends and family in the area, so that kind of kept me afloat for like a month or two. But once those kind of dwindled down, I'm like, wait a second, I really need to get on this. And I signed up with insurance in the beginning, and I thought that would get me
Okay.
patients like right away, which for me it didn't. It kind of took at least a year for people to start finding me like actually through their insurance. And
Wow.
so I was doing a lot of ground marketing. I was listening to Michael's podcast and doing all the door-to-door marketing, apartment complexes, gyms. Like I was following the rubric to a T. So I would just say in the beginning, I probably would have front loaded marketing more, like maybe started sending out mailers,
Mhm.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Like Dr. Tony, I'm listening to the podcast and she is killing it. So I feel like she is doing it the right way, doing the marketing up front and then just having a list of people like ready to go.
So when you're saying like you were going door to door, were you doing that with mailers or you were like actually going to places and like
I was
leaving?
going to like Chipotle and I was going and I was like giving them a basket with cards. And I'm like, if you guys need a dentist, we just opened up right around the corner. I went to 7-Eleven and I'm like, do you guys mind putting my flyers here? Like, when you're at 7-Eleven checking out, like just putting a little
Yeah.
flyer. So I did that. And I mean, I would get not a lot of patients, but like one or two here and there. And which in the beginning, I was like, this is great. This patient was like brought in my little thing. She's like, I saw you at 7-Eleven. I went to the doggy daycare next to me and I was like, do you guys mind putting my little flyer out here? And so, yeah, I was doing that kind of door-to-door marketing
That's
because I was
like
also so
so
cheap and I
cute.
didn't want to like pay for marketing at that time. And so and then I realized like, okay, I really need to like at least pay for, Google ads or mailers. So then I started doing mailers and all the things. But I probably would have done that differently for sure.
What do you do now that's working for you?
Yeah, now, so we still do mailers, which in my area, I know people are like kind of half and half on mailers, like
Yeah.
doing or not. I was against them and then I tried it out and we wouldn't get a lot of patients, but we would get quality patients from our
Okay.
mailers. And then we would end up getting like families of four. So we still do mailers. I do Google ads. We
Hmm.
do, we don't do as many like in-person events anymore. We get a lot of internal referrals, I think just because our patient base is a lot larger now, so a lot of internal referrals. One thing that we started from the beginning that we still do, which I'm sure my employees hate me, but we do a handwritten card that looks
Hmm.
like it's written from me. It's not written from me. And we send a thank you card out to every single new patient, and we include like a little referral card. Like if you refer a friend, you get $50 off treatment. So we still do that. So yeah, like some months when in the beginning when we were getting like 50 new patients a month, they were writing like 50 cards out. And so, but that really helps. Like people love the handwritten notes. So that is
Yes.
one thing and they just write it in their free time. Like if I'm off and everyone's at the office, they just write like 10 cards each and they just have piled up ready to go. So we still send out thank you cards. I feel like that helps with internal referrals a lot. We do, I think our reviews, I feel like when you're open for a while, your reviews start helping also like Google reviews. People just find
Mm.
you on Google easier after you've been open for so long.
Okay, friends, quick break to thank our sponsor, Studio 88. Starting your own practice is hard enough, right? The last thing you need is to become a full time marketing expert, too. That's where Studio 88 comes in. They don't believe in cookie cutter marketing, they believe in your story, and they help you tell it beautifully, strategically, and in a way that actually connects with your dream patients. Over 500 dentists, including me, have trusted Studio 88 to help build a brand that feels true to who you are and grows with you. So if you're ready for marketing that actually works, head to s8e8.com. That's the letter S, number 8, letter E, number 8.com. Book a discovery call and see how they can help you build something extraordinary because your story is worth it. And now let's get back to the show.
And then also keeping your specialist. I know a lot of people feel like the specialists have to work for the general dentist, but I also think that the general dentist should stay in good contact with the specialist because we get a lot of, not a lot, but like our endodontist would send us people, our orthodontist sends us a lot of people. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, I think if you're just like friendly with your specialist, like we send our specialists gifts and obviously
Oh,
they send us gifts. Yeah, we'll send them like smoothies in the summer or like just little things and they love it. So
that's so cute. I don't think I've heard of anyone that does that.
yeah, and I think the specialists they like because it's usually the staff, right, that's like answering the calls.
Yeah.
And so if you're on their mind, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, go to Dr. Patel." Like we even have staff from those offices coming to us. And so
Oh, that's
yeah,
cute.
I think that really helps. And then we obviously still do like Instagram and all those things, which also gets us patients here and there. I would say another thing I would do differently in the beginning. So I only have 5 ops and I like having 5 ops. I think for me it's the perfect size, but I
Mhm.
would have outfitted more rooms. Like I only did 2 in the beginning,
Okay.
again, just because budget and all that. But I wish I would have done like minimum 3 rooms because
Okay.
then the main thing is like cost goes up every year. So from when I
Mhm.
had signed for my first 2 rooms to then like when I was ready to do like room 3, 4, and 5, it was like thousands of dollars more per room just because cost of
Mhm.
everything every year keeps going up. So I probably would have just outfitted like at least one more room or whatever you can do.
How many staff did you start with?
I started with 2 plus me. So one was an assistant and one was front desk.
Okay.
One of them left pretty quick, like within the first month. So then it was just
Okay.
me and one employee. And we actually, it was me and one employee for like a good few months just because we were so slow. I was also still working a few days a week somewhere else.
Okay.
So I was working 3 days at my practice and like 2 to 3 days, like even on weekends, like at random associates. Yeah, I was working a lot.
Oh, like temping associate
Temping.
staff?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
I had a stable place I was going to Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then I would pick up Saturdays just to help with like getting money, I guess. And so I would
Yeah.
do it, yeah, some weeks because my office was so, like when I tell you slow, I'm saying like in the beginning months we had 2 to 3 patients a day, maybe. The phone would maybe ring today. It was so bad. It was so bad. And so I definitely had to work somewhere else. And then slowly as it started, I think after COVID. I pretty much dropped those other places because then it just,
Okay.
after COVID, it just that year, I think for a lot of offices was a good year, the year after COVID. So
Yeah.
people were like ready to go to the dentist again.
It was like a
So
blessing in disguise.
it really was, yeah.
Was that scary, not having very many patients?
It was so scary. Me and my one employee, I would tell her, "Can you call the phone? Because I don't know if it's working today." I'm like, "Is our internet
Oh,
out? Why is the phone not ringing? Like it hasn't, we haven't had a single ring all day. Is the phone even working?" And so it was really scary. It was, yeah. I feel like my first 2 to 3 years was pretty slow. Not
okay.
slow. I mean, I broke even pretty quick, like after 6 months probably, because my overhead was
Okay.
so low. But yeah, to feel like, okay, this is probably gonna work, it took like 3 years. I'm like,
Oh,
I
okay.
think we'll be fine, guys. I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
that could also just be me being like overly scared. I'm pretty sure I sh probably should have just the marketing was the biggest thing in the beginning, just going all in on marketing a lot more.
Just getting butts and chairs.
Yeah, getting butts and chairs for sure. But
Oh,
now I have 2 hygienists, 2 front,
oh,
one
wow.
assistant. Yeah, so we're Almost pretty much like fully staffed.
4 or 5 days a week?
We're 4 days. So we are Tuesday through like almost like half day Friday.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
This is like a random question I didn't really think of asking, but you said you have 5 rooms. Are you ever thinking of bringing on another doc, or is that,
No, I don't know. I feel like I am at some point, but
yeah,
the schedule, like it's so manageable. Like I'm not running around like crazy. We're not in
okay.
network with a ton of insurance. We're still in network with some insurances, but not Delta, not some of the big ones. And
Yeah.
so we keep it very, it's like calm chaos. Some days
Okay.
feel chaotic, but they're not really. Like I can still manage it super easily on my own, but I'm sure like at some point, after kids and stuff when I don't really want to work. When I'm a grown up, I probably won't want to do this that much longer. So I think having another doc I think it'd also be fun just to have another doc in the office to like
Yeah.
talk to. I think that would be good. But I do get resumes and people emailing that are graduating from dental school. Like, I'm graduating in June. Are you looking for an associate? And I'm like,
Oh,
oh.
that's sweet.
So that's good. Yeah.
Okay,
I
the next question I
Yeah.
had is what piece of technology, so when you were equipping things, was there like a piece of technology that you immediately knew was working, wasn't working, your ROI? Like what
hmm
is something you would recommend to a new doc to start off with?
Yeah, I
They
would
could only invest in one.
I would definitely say a scanner. Whether it's iTero or whatever. I have two iTeros now, but I
Okay.
would definitely say some 3D scanner in this day and age is like absolutely necessary. I didn't start with an iTero, but I think I did get one within like the first year. But yeah, nowadays I feel like you have to have a scanner at least. I have a cone beam. I didn't start with the cone beam, but I don't know. My ROI for a cone beam, I mean, I think it's just, again, something that's like nice to have, but I don't think
Mhm.
it's something that, like, if I had to pick one thing, I would definitely say a scanner for sure.
Okay. Do you do
Yeah.
implants and stuff with your cone beam, or what are you using it for?
Yeah, I do implants. We're not a super heavy implant practice, but it is nice to have when I do like see a really great site that I can do to just have it and not have to refer them out for a cone beam or bother my
Mhm.
specialist to take a cone beam for somebody. And then I use it to diagnose endo. I don't do any endo at my office,
Okay.
but sometimes I'll use that to diagnose an abscess or something like that. But we also don't charge people for like I'm really that dentist that's really hates charging people. So yeah, thank God I have a front desk that charges people. But if it was me, I wouldn't charge anybody. So we don't charge people for the cone beam. I just do it. And then yeah, so
You sound just like Ashley.
yeah, I know. It's so bad. It's like if I could run a nonprofit, that would be the best thing ever.
She wants to like do things at like a discount or give like buy this many get one free sort of thing sometimes. And
In
I'm
the
like,
beginning, I kid you not, I didn't mean to do this, but like I would do buy one, get one free extractions. I would be like, oh, you need number 12 out? Well, 13 also has to come out. Like, do you want to I'll just do it for free. Like, if you just want to pay for 12. It
what?
was so bad. It was so bad.
You don't do that anymore though, do you?
Yeah, no, we don't do that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's hard because in the beginning it was all family and they all are like wanting discounts.
Oh,
So I'm like, oh,
yeah.
guys.
That's so funny. Yeah. And like you said, the front office thing, we're always like, no. And we
Yeah.
even started a jar one time. We're like, every time you give a discount, you have to put money into that jar now because
Yeah.
we're not making money somehow. It's coming out of
Yes.
your pocket.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're like, if I'm like, oh, you can give them a 5% discount because they don't have insurance. They're like, no. They're just like, no, we're not doing it. Like,
No, we don't
and
even tell Ashley anymore. Sometimes we're just like, okay, yeah, we'll go over the treatment plan.
yeah, yeah, I know. They're like, please stay out of it. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of dentists are like that, or maybe female dentists. I don't know. It's just we just have this soft spot, and
I think so.
I don't know. Want
Just want to help people.
to help people. Yeah.
Um, okay, well, speaking about money, when you said you broke even pretty quickly,
Mhm.
um, even with
Yeah.
COVID and everything, we always see this question a lot. Like, when do you start paying yourself?
Yes. So it's so funny. I keep like a screenshot every year of what I paid myself. So in the beginning, my first year, I think I paid myself I was paying myself in the beginning just because I kind of had to like pay my loans and whatnot. But I was paying very minimal to myself. So I think my first year, my yearly paycheck was like 23,000 or something. So I paid myself from the beginning, but like super low just to cover rent and my school loans or something like that.
Okay.
And then the extra money that I made from working at other jobs was kind of like supplementing lifestyle income.
Yeah.
And then the second year, so every year I would pay myself a little more. I would say my like actual, like a normal dentist salary, I was paying myself after year three.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I don't think, and it's just crazy because I'm like, I could be an associate making way more right now, is what I just kept thinking. I'm like, all these
Hmm.
years that I could have just been working and making like normal dentist salary, like from the beginning. But I mean, now I would say I'm what year, like almost seven. I'm every year it's increased still. And so it's gotten better and better. But it's just, I
Okay.
look back at my pay stubs of what I paid myself from year one. I'm like, year one, two, and three. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? But it's also because you just wanted to keep investing back in. So like any money I would make, I would just keep
I
putting
feel
back
like
into
that's
practice.
so common.
Yeah. Yep, it is. I think it is for sure.
So yeah, I feel like a lot of docs, I hear that a lot. It's just
Hmm.
like, when do you pay yourself? And I know a lot of
Yeah.
doctors don't really, even after so many years. And so you're kind of
Yeah.
like, is this even worth it? You're paying all your employees and all of your bills.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. There was actually, yeah, I mean, luckily the last 2 years, I would say I've been able to pay myself like I would say more than an average dentist salary, which has been a lot nicer. And obviously now that I have a house and stuff, it's helpful. But I mean, there's still pay periods. There was one last year where I was like, we had a slow month and I'm not going to pay myself like this month because I don't think obviously you have to pay employees first. And it's
Yeah.
not like we were stretched for money, but I was just like, I would rather just keep it in the business and not take a payout for myself this month. So yeah,
Mhm.
here and there, I'm like, it's nice that you can do that, but it's also kind of crazy because you have to pay everyone before you pay yourself. And so if it's a bad month, you're like, oh, let's maybe pick it up next month, guys.
You're
Yeah.
like, please.
Yeah. And I don't tell the staff, obviously, like, but it's still, it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah. As an owner, I think you guys just carry so much of the weight of everything, really. Like,
Yeah.
it's super stressful.
Hey friends, I just want to give some love to Net32 for supporting this episode. If you're a practice owner like me, you know the back end of running a dental office isn't always sexy, but it is necessary. Net32 is an online marketplace where you can compare brands, vendors, and prices all in one place. That means you're not overpaying or wasting time. And when you're building a startup or juggling multiple practices, every dollar and every minute matters. I've used Net32 and it's honestly made a huge difference. Check them out at net32.com/the making of. And now let's get back to the show.
Speaking of paying your employees, what has it been like with employees?
Hmm.
And just like the culture of your office, and you had someone leave you in like the first month, and
Yeah.
what have you found with all of that and hiring and having to fire people?
Yeah.
Because I actually think one of the hardest parts of owning a practice is not necessarily the patients and
Hmm.
treatment, it's who you have on your team.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I was always under the impression of hire slow, fire fast. I feel like that's what everybody always says. But I remember hearing Scott say hire fast and fire fast. Like as soon as you know that if you come across somebody and they're a good fit, just hire them. And then if they're not performing, like fire them. Like it's not. And I think as the owner, it's so my first fire. Oh God, it was awful. It was so awful because I know you're
Can you
supposed to
tell me
have,
about it?
yeah, you're supposed to have the witness there, right? And so it's just super awkward for the witness that's just standing in the corner. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need you to just stand in this room. And they're like, okay. And it's just so awkward. And yeah, I had to fire somebody. I had hired her a week in. She tells me that she didn't know that she was like 5 months pregnant. And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like in my head, I was like, cool, we'll figure it out. Like I just need somebody to answer phones or whatever. And so then I think the next week, I was at the office on the weekend and I'm just looking through papers and I see a paper that's typed out as if it was me. It was like blah, 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 and had my name signed at the bottom. And I'm like, weird.
Oh,
I'm like reading this letter and it's almost like proof of income type of letter saying that like this person makes this much money, blah, blah, blah. And then it was signed and it wasn't even the right amount that she had put for herself. But pretty much she had typed up a letter for herself from me, signed my name at the bottom, and I'm guessing she was using it to either rent an apartment or like something. And so I'm reading this letter and I'm like, oh God. I was like, this is not good. So then I'm like, well, I think this is termination. Like, this is wild. If you're gonna fake a letter, forge a letter in
mhm.
my name within the first like 2 weeks of working here, like you could have just asked me and I would have written you a letter. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something, yeah. So that was my first fire. And I was so, as the owner, actually every fire I've had, it's just as the owner, you're like, it's so built up. My heart is like beating out of my chest. I'm like, why am I nervous? Like, you're the one getting fired. Like, why am I nervous? It's so, I don't think it gets easier. I don't think any fire for me will ever get easier just because I'm like, I don't know. But that was my first ever fire. Yeah, it was just, it's just like the confrontation of, most of my employees have actually just left themselves. They just kind of know that
Okay.
they're not the right fit. So I've really only had to do maybe 2 fires, like actual fires. But everyone else, it's kind of like you do a write-up and then they kind of get like, okay, this isn't going to work for me or whatever. So they end up leaving on their own.
Do you feel better after you fired them though? Like, is it like a
1000%.
relief?
It's
Yeah.
such a relief. I feel like anyone that's to the point of you need to fire them, it's probably weighing you down so much. You don't even realize it. And I think a lot of us just keep people because we just need bodies in the office to do something.
Hmm.
But once they're gone, you just realize all the headaches that were not worth it. And like you feel an instant weight off of your shoulders. And you're like, oh, I don't have to correct this person 200 times a day or like worry that I'm going to wake up to them texting me saying that they're not coming in or that they're not feeling
Yeah.
like, yeah, just mentally, it's such a relief. There's never been somebody that you'll regret firing, I feel like. And you just find people better. Like it just works out that way. Like you just find better people. So
How long has your longest employee been with you?
this year, so I had a huge turnover at like year 3.5 where I
Okay.
was down to just like 2 employees. It was really bad. But, and I had a whole like staff turnover pretty much. But this
Mhm.
year, everyone will be with me at least 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this time, 3 years ago, was when I had a huge turnover pretty much and just rehired like every position. And so everyone this year will be 3 years. Like everyone pretty much because they were all hired at the same time. So
They're all friends.
yeah, they're all yeah.
Do you mind me asking, what do you think contributed to that turnover? Was
Yeah.
there?
I think so. The one employee I had from the really beginning, she was with me from the beginning up until when she left at like
Mhm.
her 3.5 year mark or something. And I feel like that person that's been there from the beginning, I don't know, like the shift in I don't know, the environment of like when she leaves, other people are like, oh crap, well, if she's leaving, I should leave too. And we
Mhm.
didn't leave on like bad blood or anything like that. It was just like the
Okay.
commute was really long for her. Um,
Okay.
but I don't know, I feel like when one long-standing staff leaves, maybe the other ones, and then maybe my demeanor also changed after that. Maybe I was just like blindsided. And so I was like, I think at one point I'm like, if anyone else wants to leave, like leave now. Because if I'm gonna put out an ad, I'm gonna do it all at the same time. I'm not gonna keep interviewing. So if anybody else wants to put in their 2 weeks, tell me right now. I think I actually said that out loud. So maybe it was me. Maybe I ran them away. But looking back, it was people that really weren't there to grow the practice anyway.
Okay.
So it turned out for the better. Like it was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was people that weren't really looking to take the practice to the next level. So I think as you grow with the office, there's just different people for different seasons, and they were
Hmm.
fine like for that season in the beginning of the startup phase. But then as you get more patients and you want them to keep doing more things and grow in technology and all that, and they're not adaptable, I think they kind of just, you know, yeah, it's completely different.
It's kind of finding that like culture fit, right?
Mhm.
And so, yeah, if the culture is shifting all of a sudden, and
Yes.
I like that you said that it's a different season and they weren't the ones to grow the practice, but
Yeah.
now it sounds like the ones that you have found
Hmm.
are with you. And
Yeah.
how did you find these people? Were they already in dental? Were they not?
Yeah, I would say all actually one of them was in dental, had taken a break and then was looking to get back into dental. And then the other ones were all had at least like 1 to 2 years of experience. But I just use Indeed,
Okay.
Cloud. Do you guys have Cloud over there? Cloud Dentistry? It's like a temp agency app.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty big over here, but you can look for temps on there, but you can also put ads on there. So I use
Okay. And
um
then when you were going through the hiring, interviewing, all of that, did you know pretty straight away that they were going to be the right fit or weren't the right fit? Or
I would say probably not. I think I was just like, if this is a decent, a lot of interviewing is just, are you going to show up to work? Everything else, I think I'll just be able to train you. So I just look for
okay,
attitude and I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound shallow, but like appearance, just look
yeah,
normal, talk normal, and be willing to like learn. And then I feel like if you can get to work and you're not gonna, those are like the bare minimum, then I'll probably
okay.
hire you. Like you're probably
So you're not looking for a whole lot of criteria other than
I'm really not.
just
Yeah.
show up presentable to work on time when you're
Yes,
supposed to.
exactly. And just be willing to learn and yeah.
Okay. I love
So
that. Yeah, because
yeah.
I think, and we talk about this a lot too, and like Ashley's hired people from like restaurants if she's had a
Yeah.
really good server or something, or
Yep.
Starbucks because they have the customer service, zero
Yes.
dental knowledge,
Yep.
but if they have the right attitude, you can teach them
Yeah.
teeth numbers or
Oh
how to
yeah.
answer a phone or anything like that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's almost like the more I haven't had this happen in my office, but I've heard from friends like sometimes the more experienced you are, the worse it can be just because they could be stuck in their ways or like
Yeah.
whatever. So sometimes it's not. I was usually looking for experience and then I would keep hearing stories of like actually the more experience doesn't necessarily always mean the better the fit is. And so
Yeah.
yeah, hiring outside dental, I think is actually really great because then they also bring ideas like that you don't think about. Or I'm hiring for
Hmm.
a social media content creator position in our office that can
Fun.
also be like kind of almost like a sterile tech because we just need some
Okay.
turnover rooms. And
Hmm.
I've been interviewing and it's great. Like these people are they've never had dental experience, but they're so like when you're in dental, you get so jaded. You get so just like,
No, I don't know what you're talking about at
Yeah,
all.
I don't know. It's just rainbows and unicorns all the time. So like outside dental, I feel like is also good in that sense because you're not really hiring people they're not jaded yet. So they're
Yeah.
coming in fresh.
What CE have you invested into your team, or would you recommend, or ones that you didn't really find helpful?
I would say we're not great about doing like team CE, but I did go with my
Okay.
hygienist to a almost like a treatment planning CE last year.
Okay.
That was cool. It was in Dallas. I think I don't know. We did a team CE a few years ago when I had like a different team. I myself have done like the COIS and all that
Hmm.
stuff, but yeah, I feel like team CE is definitely on my goals list for this
Okay.
year. That's
How do
something.
you train people then? Like, what are you using? What resources are you using to help train? Wow.
So one of the big ones is we do coaching. I don't know how I didn't think about this, but we do
Oh, okay. Okay.
coaching. So we have a
Okay.
coach that we meet with. We're on year like 2.5 with her now.
Okay.
And she is great. So we do monthly meetings with her. She role plays. She
Okay.
like, yeah. So all the communication aspect of like treatment presenting or case presenting, like how the front desk does it, how we answer phones, down to like the handoffs between the hygienist and the assistant, all that is through the coach that we use. And that has been immensely helpful. Like
Okay.
I'm probably never going to get rid of them. It's the best. So I guess that would be considered like our
Hmm. Hmm.
team training that we do.
Yeah, no, totally. That's what I was wondering. I'm like, you have this really great team that's been with you for a while, and even if
You're
they
like,
don't have a
what are
lot of
you doing? This
experience,
is
I'm like, Hiral, yeah, how do you know all these things?
You're like, she's doing something.
I'm like, dang, I'm taking a page out of your book.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think that's like a really great just kind of starting point to help docs and stuff too. Or do you have any things that you would recommend as well? I mean, other than the marketing aspect, but just for someone who's thinking about opening a practice or
Yeah, I would say. I don't know. The biggest thing is I feel like if you have a gut feeling of knowing you want to do this and you want it to work, then it's going to work. Like it's going to be
Okay.
really hard and you're going to probably cry a lot, but if you really want it to work and the fire is in you to do it, then I think you can do it. Like I don't think it's there's like way harder things. I mean, a dental office is really hard to run. I don't want to make it sound easy at all, but it's very, I don't know. I feel like if you can put your mind in that mindset of like this is going to work, and it's not going to fail, then you just will make it work somehow. Whether you're going door to door or whatever, going to 7-Eleven, whatever you're doing, it's going to work. So I think just staying positive and yeah, not letting the day to day like bog you down.
I think that's like huge. I've been thinking about that a lot too. It's just like remembering like your why and why you're doing this and like figuring out what
Yeah.
obstacles are in your way and just being able to like figure out a plan to get over those. Cause yeah, the
Yeah.
day-to-day BS is where people get stuck.
Yes. The days are hard, but like the years are good. So you're going to have the bad days no matter what, no matter how long you've been in it, no matter what you're doing, like dental office
Yeah.
or not. I think it's just remembering that don't let the bad days make your year feel awful.
So you wouldn't trade having your own practice for being an associate anymore?
No, I feel like back then I was like, ask me later, ask me in a few years. Like I was still on the fence. And people would tell me, like, watch, after year 3 is when it shifts. And it was like right around year 3 when it was like, okay, I don't know if you have the confidence more or what, but something changes at like year 3. And I definitely felt that. So yeah, I would not trade it for the world.
Love that.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I have a personal question for you too,
Yes.
because and as listeners of this podcast know of Ashley's husband having gone through oral cancer last summer, and when she broke that news to everyone, you're one of the first people actually to message me and just kind of check in on her. Um,
Hmm.
and you had mentioned that your dad had oral cancer as well, and it was kind of this relief knowing someone that had been through this with a family member because
Hmm.
even though I've been in dental for 100 years now, it's not like common. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
like,
a very
see it
low
a lot.
percentage. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think, I mean, I worked in pediatrics for a while too. And so that's obviously
Yeah.
not even more common. But can you tell me a little bit about that? Like just what
Oh
his
yeah.
story was and
Yes.
what he went through and everything?
Yeah, he's also, I feel like the first person that I knew with oral
Okay.
cancer. Like, and same, I don't really run into a lot of people that have oral cancer.
Mhm.
I think it's on the rise more now, but so my dad's was more tobacco induced. So
Okay.
he had chewed tobacco pretty much his whole life. And I was in school still, so I didn't even know. He went to the dentist, they did a checkup, they saw something suspicious. It was on the buccal vestibule, kind of like where you would chew tobacco.
Mhm.
And they did a biopsy. And then I remember reading the biopsy report, not really knowing still like what it was because I was still in school. And I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy. And so he got the surgery done. They took out the tumor. They took out a bunch of teeth. So they had to remove all the teeth in that area. They cut out the tumor. They reduced the bone down because you have to clear the bone out. And then he did radiation right after that. He
Okay.
also did hyperbaric oxygen treatments.
Hmm.
So the hyperbaric oxygen treatments they do prior to radiation and post radiation. So he did, I think, like 20 dives before he even started. And I think that's mostly for the bone so that you don't
Okay.
get osteonecrosis of your bone. So I think it just really helps your bone heal after radiation. His was head and neck radiation. He didn't have to do any chemo, but I remember the radiation. I wasn't there, like, I wasn't in Dallas when he was getting his radiation, but I remember it being pretty intense. Like, it
Okay.
was just, yeah. I don't think it's as, like, energy wise, it's not the same as after you have chemo, but it's still a lot of like radiation treatments that you're going in for.
How long was that process? Like when he found out and was diagnosed,
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
being done? Like, is it something he still has to go in for checks? Like, kind of what is
Yeah.
the
I
time
want to
frame?
say initially it was like 6 months from when they found it to when they took it out, did all the radiation. Like it
Oh,
almost
wow.
happened, yeah, like really fast. I want to
Yeah.
say it was all within 6 months. And then they were doing 3-month checkups.
Okay.
So every 3 months he would go get checked, and then he would have recurrences. So he stopped chewing tobacco and everything. But because of how the cancer works, like if there's even just like a singular cancer cell left behind,
Mhm.
it'll proliferate and, then you have cancer again. So he would just keep having like little areas of infection.
Okay.
So he's gone under for surgery a few times now to just get more bone removed, more of the tissue removed. At one point, he had to have a skin graft, kind of like from his thigh area, and they patched it back up because you have to remove so much of the oral tissue. And so he would have to have like a skin graft, and every few years, I want to say his last time was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. But it's just
Okay.
something that his doctor was like, because of your radiated bone, you're just more likely to keep getting infections. So at one point they talked about like removing his mandible and just replacing it with his fibia bone or tibia, one of those. And
The
he
whole
wasn't
the whole
the whole,
mandible?
yeah. And I guess it's common for more aggressive like oral cancer. So if you see, like I remember looking up panos of people that had that done. I mean, it completely changes like the shape of your face and everything. It's like very, very, very intense. The whole mandible, pretty much. You can do segments of it as well, but my dad was like, I'm not going to go through that. I would rather just keep going under every few
Okay.
years and continuing to remove. Yeah. So your speech changes. He would initially had to get like maybe 4 or 5 teeth taken out, but since then
Okay.
he's essentially taken out everything on the bottom except for like 2 teeth. So
Oh.
yeah, on his mandible, he chews on his right side with literally 2 teeth, maybe even one. I don't even know anymore.
Oh.
His opening is so limited. Like you get trismus, so you can't open. So everything he is always cutting up everything he eats. Like
Oh, okay.
forget eating like hamburgers and burritos. Like there's just no chance you can open that big anymore. So it's just a complete lifestyle change.
So does he still go in every 3 months?
No, so I want to say after the first year, it moves out to every 6 months, and then it's like
Okay.
once a year. And it's the ENT that sees him
Okay.
for that. And
And do they do imaging for him then?
yeah, they do imaging. I want to say they do a PET scan every year. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
just to
wow.
make sure. His cancer is technically all gone. I think it's more just like infected bone now that keeps coming
Okay.
up. So he is on amoxicillin like year round almost, it seems like.
Okay, okay.
So it's
Just
just,
make sure.
yeah, he's pretty resistant to antibiotics now, but takes it like candy. So that's good.
So when was
But
he diagnosed? What year was that? Sorry, I didn't even ask. You were still in school.
yeah, I want to say it was probably 2014,
Okay.
2015. So he's over like 10 years now.
Wow. And
Yeah.
how's he doing now? Just like lifestyle.
Yeah.
You said lifestyle change. I mean, as far as eating, is there like other things that really have affected
Um,
him?
I would say, I mean, he's doing really well, but I think that's also just his attitude, like
Okay.
just him as a person. I feel like for anyone else, like for me, I would probably be, I don't even know, I'd be a wreck. But his attitude is already, like, even pre-cancer was just so positive. So he's jolly all the time. Like, you would just
Oh.
never, ever think that he had gone through such a big surgery and
Hmm.
even had oral cancer. But yeah, he's a really good sport about it. I have no idea how.
How old is he?
He is 65, 66. He just retired.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 66.
And you bought a house recently, and I feel like I always see you posting
Yeah.
your dad doing like so many projects for
He
you.
does the most. Yeah, he does the most. And he never complains. I've never heard that man complain in like
Okay.
35 years of my life, and very handy. Yeah, if I need something, he's there in a
Hmm.
second. Yeah, he didn't let the oral cancer change him like one bit, which yeah, it's
Oh,
amazing.
that is amazing. I just love like a happy ending story
Yeah.
for
Yeah, I have
something like
another
that.
little side note. When they did the skin graft, they used like thigh skin.
Uh-huh.
So thigh skin obviously grows hair. So I
Okay.
remember coming home from school, whatever, like on the summers or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to pull out some hairs." And he would just open his mouth up and there would be like little tiny hair follicles just sticking out. And I'm like, okay, I guess since I'm a dentist, this is what I do. Just
They don't
plucking
teach you
little.
that in school, do they?
Yeah, I was like, I look at mouths all day, and even this is like borderline disgusting to me. So, yeah, that's another thing that I'm like with oral cancer. If you get a skin graft, which I think a lot of people do, that
Hmm.
hair grows in the mouth. And so you have to like pluck it out. A lot of times you can't do it yourself because of the angle and everything. So, yeah,
So are
even
you doing that at home for him now?
yeah, he
Okay.
literally will be like, I can't get this hair. Can you get it out for me? I'm like, oh God, okay, yeah, here we go.
It's
So, yeah, that's a thing.
oh, that's so cute though. It's
Yes.
like your own little
Yeah.
bonding moment. He
Yep.
does home projects for you and you pluck
I
his tongue
pluck his,
hair.
yeah, exactly.
That's so crazy. How
Yeah.
long did it take for that to heal from that surgery?
It heals. I feel like the mouth luckily does heal pretty fast,
Hmm.
but every time he's had like the surgeries he's had every few years, I want to say it's pretty intense. Like you can't eat. You're literally on liquid ensure like shakes for a
Okay.
long time. You have to be really careful with the wound, so you can't have really anything that's not liquid.
Yeah.
I want to say it takes a good probably like month to 2 months to like
Okay.
heal, and then your taste buds change. Like after the radiation and everything, your mouth gets super dry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your taste buds are like gone. Like everything's just completely different.
I didn't even think about that. Like you kind of just don't taste things anymore.
Yeah, it's really weird. But luckily, I want to say his was like half of the mouth, so he could still kind of he
Okay.
has like numbness. I don't know if that was from the surgery or what, but like half
Yeah.
of his mouth is kind of just forever numb. And
Okay.
so yeah.
Did he have to learn how to like talk and stuff again?
Yeah, especially with having to remove a lot of teeth, that and like
Okay.
just how your tongue moves like when you're talking, he would just have to like even now it's sometimes he'll like spit when he talks and stuff and it's
Oh,
he
Papa.
can't help it, but yeah.
You don't have like a partial for him?
No, so you actually can't. His doctor said to not put anything because you don't want to traumatize the tissue because that can like
Oh,
proliferate cells again, that trauma,
okay.
like trauma induced. And so you don't want to put anything like a partial that can rub the gum tissue.
Yeah.
They tried implants at some point, but then they failed because of his bone and everything. And so they took out the implants. It's almost just like you don't have teeth there. I'm like, do you not want teeth? Like I'm always like, do you not want teeth? And obviously he wants teeth, but he's just like, well,
Yeah.
this is what it is. Like he chews so happily on his one or two teeth that he has left on the bottom, and I really don't understand it.
Oh,
I'm like, what?
did you? Well, no. So they did. They removed his teeth when he had the surgeries. Never mind. I was like, did you have
Yeah.
to remove his teeth for him
I've
at
had
all?
to remove a few. It would just
Okay.
each one would just keep getting more mobile. So
Okay.
it just was a domino effect. So I've had to remove a few of his front ones. But you have to be really careful because the bone has been radiated. And so the healing is never great after any extraction. Luckily, the ones that I've had to take out were all just super loose. And so there wasn't any like it wasn't like surgical extractions or anything like that.
Do you
Um,
like bone graft that, or you can't do that either?
I did, but I don't think
Okay.
the bone grafts take that well in that kind
Okay.
of bone. So yeah, I did bone graft it, but it's just yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
yeah. It's just I've never known anyone close other than Brian now
Yeah.
who's gone through that, and your dad, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of interesting. I don't know. Do
Yeah.
they teach you a lot of that stuff in dental
No,
school?
not at all. I was
Okay.
Googling, I like when it first happened, I was like Googling the worst. I'm like, is he gonna die? How bad is this? Like, what is,
Hmm.
because you're just like, what? Like, you hear cancer and you're like,
Yeah,
oh my God. And so, yeah, I had to do a lot of Googling and just asking people. But
that's
I
so
think,
crazy.
yeah, I feel like initially, I feel like they say after like what, 5 years, if they've been cancer free for 5 years, I think the long term is pretty good. So luckily he
Mhm.
never had like lymph node involvement or anything like
Okay.
that. But it's still something that in the back of your head, you're just always like, if you've had
Mhm.
cancer once, it's like,
Well, I'm
yeah,
so happy he's doing well and
yes,
he's better and he's just got
yes,
the greatest attitude in life.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
you
I
would be the
know.
same, Hiral. You're like,
I don't
just
know.
got
I don't
this.
know.
You're so positive. I don't know what you're
Oh,
talking about.
God, I feel like I'd be a wreck, but I don't know. Maybe I would. I do take after him a lot, so I might be like him. Who knows?
Oh, we love, I don't know, what Papa,
Papa
Dad,
Patel.
Papa Patel. There we go. I love it. Well, I appreciate the time you've taken with me today and just
I
to
know.
share all the things and catch up.
It
And
was so good to catch up.
it's so good. I can't wait to see you again at the next
Yeah,
retreat.
I know. Yes, definitely. I feel like once you're a startup, you always call it a startup. Like you're always going to be in
It
the
is,
making of a
right?
startup. Like it's never going to
Yeah.
be, yeah. You never graduate past calling it a startup. So
No. I mean, I actually did a second startup
startup.
technically, and I
Yep.
still feel like you're still just trying to figure it all out, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's all we're ever trying to do. You mentioned
Yes.
growing up earlier, and I was like, when do you grow up actually?
I
What's that
don't
like?
know. I have no idea. Yeah. Oh, maybe we'll get there one day.
I don't think so. I don't know if I want to actually.
Yeah,
I think it's
no.
overrated.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, my dear. We'll talk to you next time. And thank you
Yes.
everyone for listening.
Yes. Thank
Reach
you.
out to Hiral. Solid Smiles is her
Yes.
office. What's your handle?
I think it's just solid smiles.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
and I run the account, so it'll be me.
there she is. Well, but you might have a social media girl soon.
Maybe, yes, yeah, we are
So,
looking for that. So,
okay. All right, everyone, leave your reviews, subscribe, check out YouTube, join the Facebook group, the newsletter, all the things, and we will talk to you guys next week. Bye, Carol.
Bye.